I believe personally that it's way more effective because what happened to work out 3 times a day, let's say for 10 minutes versus working out for an hour, because it's better to move your body more than one time a day. And
Yeah.
people think, oh, well, I just worked out for an hour, so I then can be sedentary for the other
Absolutely,
23
yeah.
hours of the
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
which you get way more effect, right? So let's talk about that. What is your belief on that? Why do you think that is? Because people don't want to get sweaty 3 times a day.
Yeah. So I have kind of a barbell or a double lollipop approach. Some people call it double lollipop, where I have two extremes.
All right, welcome to Fitness Friday with Friends, where now, guys, on Fridays, the solos are sometimes solo, but other times with friends. And we talk all about health, fitness, wellness in quick bites to give you just that one or two things to help you up-level your health. And today, I have one of my very dear friends. I've known him for many years. His name is Liron, otherwise known as Beyond Fitness LA, right? That's your name? You're going to love this guy's accent. He's from London, and I love his accent. But he actually, you were a soccer player for many years, right?
I was an MMA fighter for many years.
Oh, you were an MMA fighter?
Yes.
Oh, so why did I think soccer? Because you
I
played
play
soccer?
a lot of soccer. But no, I've never like professional like that. But yeah, I did MMA at an amateur level.
Oh, okay. So you were not like Colin.
I didn't.
Yeah.
No. I didn't go pro.
Why?
No.
Just because you didn't want to?
It's a good question. Yeah, it was the life of an MMA fighter is, especially at the time, it just didn't seem like a desirable life. I didn't know anyone who did it and could say, you know what's great. And I've always been someone who prioritized a balanced life and like a good life over one line of success. Like that wasn't success for me. You know what I mean? Like I think I could have done it. I was good. I was entertaining as a fighter. I knew how to fight in a way that people really enjoyed. I would usually get like fight of the night or whatever. I was good at it. You know, people are good at different things, and I was good at it. But aside, I love the training. I love the camaraderie. But when I would win a fight, the best thing I got was like relief. You know, as opposed to hell yeah, I want to build on that, and I want to be, you know.
Yeah, you're just happy it was over, basically.
I was basically just happy it was over. You know, I was ambivalent about it. I kind of enjoyed. There was definitely aspects of it I enjoyed, but then a lot of it just didn't feel like a well balanced life to me.
Okay, so quickly, because this is a fitness quickie podcast. How did you even train? Like, how did you train for being an MMA fighter then? Like, was it mostly endurance? Was it strength? Was it like agility? Or is it all the above?
I would imagine it's changed because I stopped about 10 years ago, but it was is great about MMA, it was very sort of cross training. It was very, again, balanced. As an athlete, you had to have everything. You had to have endurance, but you also had to have speed and power, and you had to have a lot of technique, but you also needed a lot of brain power. You needed a lot of strategy. So it was a little bit of everything, and that's what I loved about it. I've never wanted to be one thing. People even ask me, like, what was your style in MMA? And I just say MMA, because by the time I'd learned, you just learned MMA. You didn't learn jiu-jitsu first and then kickboxing. You know what I mean? A lot of back in the day, people used to come in at it through karate or kickboxing or jiu-jitsu or wrestling. By the time I had started, I learned everything all at once. So we did weight training, we did a lot of endurance training, we did boxing, we did jiu-jitsu, we did all different types of stuff. And that's what I loved about it.
But did you train to get big? Because you have to be super quick, right? Like you can't be like what were you doing? Like give me a routine that you would do to be a fighter.
A lot of people, I was quite a minimalist, and maybe this is why I didn't go to the top level, but like I didn't really like 2-a-days. I would train once a day, and I just wanted to recover for the rest of the time. So I would like lift one day and then I would spar one day, and I would like spar boxing one day, and then I would spar jiu-jitsu another day, and then I would lift another day. And so I would do one thing a day, and then I would do my endurance work on another day. And I always kept soccer in there too.
Well, you are English. So.
Yeah, exactly. But that was kind of my endurance. Like they're slightly different, MMA and soccer, but soccer is a very high endurance sport. And both of those sports, you can't have any excess muscle on you. So we didn't prioritize being huge. Actually, when I stopped MMA, I got huge. Like I put on a lot of muscle because I think my system was almost suppressed from the amount of volume we would do.
Right. Well, MMA. Cardio, you probably were doing so much cardio.
A lot of cardio, a lot of reps. And just like things like wrestling is a type of endurance that you can't train for it unless you're wrestling. It's like you feel like you're gonna die, but you have to keep going because someone's on top of you, and someone wants to kill you. Essentially, is what you feel. Even though it's not true. That's how it feels.
Horrible.
So there's no amount of swimming or running or anything like that could really possibly make up for that.
Okay, what's the best type of cardio to do for MMA, to train for MMA?
I loved hill sprints.
Okay.
You just sprint. I mean, it's old school. I'm kind of like, I don't know. Have you ever seen Rocky IV? No.
Of course.
Oh yeah. Okay, great.
No, of course.
Good. Sorry.
It's like a staple in the American, culture. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if people haven't seen it, there's a montage. Amazing. You should watch this movie. But there's a montage of Rocky kind of doing it old school with like in the snowy mountains and like in a wood cabin with fireplace and just like using rocks and chopping trees. And
that was when he was fighting the Russian guy.
Yeah. Ivan Drago was like taking steroids and using machines and all this type of stuff. I preferred kind of whenever I could to do it the Rocky way. So I loved like being outside with a hill and just find a really steep hill and just sprint up it and then walk down and sprint up it and walk down. But you can recreate that with a treadmill too.
Okay, so let's get into this. So then you became a fitness trainer, and now that's what you do you have a gym, a boutique gym in LA, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and you're like a big believer in working out short bouts of exercise versus long durations. Yeah. So let's talk about this. Because I believe personally that it's way more effective because what happened to work out 3 times a day, let's say for 10 minutes versus working out for an hour, because it's better to move your body more than one time a day. And people think, oh, well, I just worked out for an hour, so I then can be sedentary for the other 23 hours of the day, which you get way more effect, right? So let's talk about that. What is your belief on that? Why do you think that is? Because people don't want to get sweaty 3 times a day.
Yeah. So I have kind of a barbell or a double lollipop approach. Some people call it double lollipop, where I have 2 extremes. Okay. I want really extreme high intensity workouts, like something you've never done before, like a personal best every single time you hit the gym. Like really to like 100% of your capacity. And then the rest of the day, I don't want to sit on my ass. But the other side of the lollipop, the other side of the barbell is just activity, just be active. So I walk everywhere. Like no matter how busy I am, I walk to and from my gym from my house, which is a 20-minute walk each way. Right.
By the way, me too. So this is something I want to talk about because people think I'm cuckoo, but I have this personal rule, right? That if something is 2 miles or under, I will refuse to get into a car.
Absolutely.
Right? I will walk there. I don't care if it's a meeting, a lunch, a personal, professional. I will not get into a car. Yeah. And I will show up like at places that are usually like people are dressed pretty nice, wearing my running shoes and like my bag. And I don't care because
good for you.
Right?
I'm with you 100%.
Right? Yeah. Because to me, that like getting more steps and moving my body and getting my blood circulating is more important than what some person's going to think of my routine. And more often than not, people are like, that's a good idea. Or like, wow, I wish I did that. Yeah. Or I wish I was like, because I think having these things in your head or like these personal rules when it comes to your like non-negotiables for your own health are so important to staying like to kind of stick into like what your goals are long term.
I think that's a big, I like that because there's a big difference between the the fit people, and if you divide people into fit and not fit,
Yeah.
the fit people, the biggest thing is the fit people have non-negotiables. And not fit
Non-negotiables.
people, everything's just so flexible, and it's like, oh, if I have time, or if the situation, no, like, get your fitness, get your health handled, and then your life will work around that. Like, you'll still have a life, don't worry.
No, and that's how I am. Like, I actually work everything around my fitness schedule. Like, if there's somebody who wants to have a meeting or do something and it's interfering with that time where I know that's like keeps me on point, I will not do the other thing.
And look how much you achieve. I mean, I don't know if people know, but you are a very busy
Well,
girl.
thank you. But I
Yeah.
will say, I mean, the busy thing is becoming obnoxious already. But I will
It's a
say,
choice, yeah.
it's a choice. But I will say, if I didn't incorporate that fitness regimen and had those non-negotiables,
Yeah.
my other success would never happen.
For sure.
Because that keeps me disciplined. It also keeps my brain on point. Like, if I don't do it, I'm not as effective. I'm not as productive. I'm not as focused.
Energy levels, mood.
Everything, my mood, my endorphins, everything.
Yeah.
So that to me has to be a non-negotiable. And if you're listening to this episode, I want people to understand that you may not be here at day one, but I promise you, if you stay with it and you kind of work the program of whatever that non-negotiable is to work out, you will get there eventually, because that feeling is so addictive that it's a non-negotiable. So that's how I feel. So give me some of yours. Like, let's leave this. I want to give people on this podcast a few non-negotiables other than something like that. So can you give me a few non-negotiables in your health routine that really help you be the best version of yourself?
So yeah, I mentioned the walking. I think you know who Andrew Huberman is, right? So, like, morning sunlight, that's really key. Some of these are quite new, but it really makes sense to me and it really helps. So morning sunlight, and if someone's thinking this isn't fitness, this is fitness. Like, your energy levels, your circadian rhythm gets set when you see bright sunlight first thing in the morning. So that's really, really crucial. First thing I do, I take my little baby and I take him outside, and we just chill outside and get sunlight in our eyes for like 5 minutes. It's kind of like a meditation. Water, first thing. These are all boring things, right? But like, these are the
boring works. That's
Right.
okay. By the way, another thing, guys, boring works.
Yeah.
People think it has to be fancy. Fancy doesn't work. Fancy is just fancy. Boring actually gets you to the finish line. If people looked at my life, my routines, it's super boring. Water with the lemon, my walk on my treadmill, the same kind of nonsense that you're saying. But that's what actually like moves the needle.
Yeah.
Like, don't be confused by magic bullets. There is no such thing.
And then the exciting stuff works its way around that.
Okay, like what? Give me a couple more non-negotiables. This
So-
episode's short, so keep it tight.
So, my fitness routine. So, like, I plan my fitness routine. I know exactly what day I'm going to do this workout, and I get it in. Like, I never ever miss a workout. So, like, right now, it's mobility work Monday, like kind of intense mobility work Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I lift on Tuesday. I box on Thursday. I play soccer on Sunday. And then my rest day is Saturday. And I know, like, I can see that picture at the beginning of every single week, and I know I'm going to hit every single one of those things. And
Right.
those are all non-negotiables. I'm not just waking up one day and being like, oh, what do I feel like doing today? That doesn't work. I have my routine set up like the whole week, and then I rinse and repeat. And it's very machine-like, but I love it. And it gives
Yeah.
me structure. Actually, it helps me, like, it helps even with my mental health, because I know at least my fitness is planned and sorted, so that the rest of my life, if it is kooky and crazy, I still have like a rock, and that's my fitness.
Perfect. Okay, guys. So the takeaways here are the following: create non-negotiables for yourself to keep you on point. And structure really does make a difference if you have a goal that you want to achieve. Like, just kind of like whimsically thinking, okay, I don't know, like today, Monday, I don't know what I'm going to do. Tuesday, make some kind of structured regimen and then stick to it and follow through. Not only for your physical health, but for your mental health. So important. And it keeps you on task. Like, it actually will increase the ability. It actually increases the chances of you actually doing it when you create a structure versus just like willy-nilly thinking, okay, I don't know what to do today. You waste a lot of time that way. Um, and the other thing is, try to move your body more than one time a day. It is way more beneficial. Science has proved it. Being sedentary for 23 hours because you worked hard for 1 hour doesn't cut it. You will be way more effective with where you want to go long term by doing small bursts of exercise 3 times a day, 3 10-minute workouts, 3 10-minute even moving around, jumping on a trampoline, walking around the block, weightlifting. Doesn't matter what it is. You don't have to get super sweaty. Remember, it's consistency over intensity all the time. So that's a good wrap up. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
No, I
My
appreciate
pleasure.
it. This is short, it's sweet. It's all about helping you up level your health, your fitness, your wellness, your brain, all of it. If you guys have not subscribed, please do. And any comments, queries, let me know. It just helps me give you content that helps you. So, with that being said, thank you, Liron, and I'll see you soon.